Hello students. Today we'll study new concept of economic, a new chapter that is foreign exchange rate. So in today's class we'll discuss what is foreign exchange rate, and we'll discuss why foreign exchange is demanded. So these two topics we are going to cover in today's class. First, let's understand what is foreign exchange rate. It's a conversion, it's a comparison between two currencies of different countries that is known as foreign exchange rate. A rate at which one currency can be exchanged for another currency, that rate is known as foreign exchange rate. So, first, you have to understand the meaning of foreign exchange rate. What did I say? I said the rate at which a currency is exchanged for another currency or foreign currency, you can say, that rate is known as foreign exchange rate. For example, if a rate is, let's say we have two currencies of two different countries. One is Indian rupee and the other is US dollar. So I have written a rate $1 is equals to 50 rupees. That is what I have written. This is an example of foreign exchange rate. And what does it mean? It means that a dollar, American dollar, can be exchanged in terms of Indian rupees. And in what sense? How much money do we have to give? We have to give 50 rupees to buy a single American dollar. So this comparison between two currencies, this relation between two currencies of the world is known as foreign exchange rate. Now the other topic is why foreign exchange is demanded. Why do we need foreign exchange? So there are many things for which we require foreign exchange, for which we require different currencies of different countries. I have written few example of that which are covered in our syllabus. You can note it down. There are basically seven sources, seven things, seven main categories for which we require foreign exchange. First is imports. When we buy goods and services from the other country, from some different country, we need to pay for that goods and services. Obviously, we need to pay. And to pay that amount, that sum, to that particular country, we need currency of that particular country. So that's why we need foreign exchange, because they'll not accept our currency, they'll not accept currency of our country, they'll accept the currency of their country. So to buy goods from that particular country, from a foreign country, we need foreign exchange. So first reason for which we need foreign exchange is imports. Okay. Second is direct purchases abroad. There's a difference between imports and direct purchases from abroad. What is the difference? When we buy goods and services from our country, it is known as import. But sometimes we visit that particular country. That might be for anything, that might be for tourism. We visited that place for as a tourist, or for medical treatment. We might have visited that country for medical treatment. We might have studied that particular country for studies. So for different purposes we visit different countries, and if we go there and consume their goods, buy their goods, consume their services, we have to pay. So that payment is direct purchases from abroad. That is our second source of foreign exchange, second demand of foreign exchange, direct purchases from abroad. So what is the difference between import and direct purchase abroad? If we buy goods from our country, we are here only, and we are ordering or we are buying from other country, that is import. But if we personally go there, and consume their services or goods and then make payment, that is known as direct purchases from abroad. So there is a difference between import and direct purchase from abroad. We are buying, what is the similarity? Similarity is that we are buying foreign goods. We are consuming foreign services. That is the similarity between both of them. But what is the difference? Difference is where we are. Where is the origin? If we are in our in our country only, that is import. But if we are in that particular country, if we are in some foreign country and then we are buying, then it is known as direct purchases from abroad. Two things we have covered. Now we are coming on third point for which we require foreign exchange, that is repayment of international loan. Sometimes a country or our businessmen borrow money from other countries, borrow money from other banks of foreign country, not from our country. They have taken money, they have taken loan from foreign country, some foreign banks, and if loan has taken, it has to be repaid in some time. And now the loan is repaid. When the loan is repaid, it will be repaid in that foreign currency only, because they'll not accept our currency. What will they do with our currency? They have no use of our currency, so they will accept only their currency. So for that purpose also we require foreign exchange. We need currency of that particular foreign country, so that is why foreign exchange is also required. Third, repayment of international loan. If you have taken loan from any foreign bank, foreign government, then you have to repay it in their currency only. So that is why you require foreign exchange. Okay. Now what is the fourth point is foreign investment. Foreign investment. What is foreign investment? That means you invest your surplus amount somewhere. You can buy a property in a foreign country. You can buy shares in a foreign country. You can buy a business in foreign country. Whatever you want to do, you can do that. Okay. So this is the investment for, this is the payment for investment purpose. So if you are doing investment in some foreign country, then again you require your foreign currency. For example, if you want to buy a house in London, that is in England, so they'll not accept your currency, they'll accept their currency only, they'll accept currency of England. So for that purpose, if you want to buy a house in London, then you will require foreign currency, then you will require currency of England. So fourth point is for making investment, foreign investment. Another example is you want to buy a company, you want to buy a business over there, you like some business over there, you want to invest into that business, you want to buy that business, you want to be a owner of that business. So if you want that particular thing, you have to make payment in that particular country's currency. Whatever the country is, the currency would be according to that. I have taken an example of England. You can take any other example if you want. Okay. So this is the fourth point. Now we have to come on fifth point. What is the fifth point? Grants and donation. What is grant and donation? As you can understand from the word donation, grant is similar to that. Grant is help. Another word for grant is aid. 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 So it's a help. It's a monetary help. If you want to help a particular country, if you want to donate some amount to that particular country for their relief, for their needs, requirements, then you have to make payments in that particular currency only. For example, if there is a earthquake, some years ago there was an earthquake in Nepal. Okay. So if you want to help, if our government wants to help Nepal's government, then they'll offer their donation or grant. They'll say that we want to help you. So we can't help in our currency. We can't say take our money and this is the donation we want to give. They'll say, what we'll do with Indian rupee? We have no use for it. So they'll accept if we offer their currency, Nepalese rupee, they'll be happy to receive it because they have use for it. So if we want to make donation or grants, then we have to then also we require foreign exchange to help that particular country. Okay. Next is payment of income. What is payment of income? They are basically four factors of production. What is factor of production? Basically, if you want to produce anything, you require four factors. You require four things. What are those things? Land first, labor second, capital, and entrepreneurship. Land is any land or office, any building, that is all included in land. In economics, that is all included in land. Labor, all the physical and mental efforts are included in labor. All the physical and mental efforts done for making a thing, for producing a thing, are included in labor. Capital, the money invested into it, the machinery required for it is included in capital. For producing anything, you need money, you need machinery. What is the fourth point? Fourth is entrepreneurship. All the risk taking you are doing, all the efforts you are doing, that is your entrepreneurship. All the efforts, all the risk you are taking for producing a thing, that is known as entrepreneurship. So these are four factors of production. And if you use these factors of production, you need to make payment. You need to pay for these factors of production. For example, if you're using someone's land, if you're using someone's building, you need to pay rent for that thing, that land, that building. If you are using some services of some person, then you need to pay salary to that person. Okay, so these are factor payments. For land, we need to pay rent. For labor, we need to pay salary or wages. It is in economics, it is known as wages. For capital, we need to pay interest. For example, if you borrow money, that is your capital, you need to pay interest for that. And fourth is entrepreneurship, the physical efforts, the mental efforts of yourself as a businessman, the risk taking as a businessman. That is your entrepreneurship. So you require profit. You expect some profit for that. So these are four factors of production. And for those factors of production, these are four factor payments. For land, it is rent. For labor, it is wages. For capital, it is interest. And for entrepreneurship, it is profit. So you need to make for payment for those factors of production. Four. Suppose what's the point? What's the foreign exchange angle in this? If you are using an office in some foreign country, you have not bought that office, you are not the owner of that office, but you are using it, you have taken that office on rent. So you need to pay rent for that. You have a branch office in some other country, example, you have a branch in some other country, say in America or London. You have a branch office. You are paying rent for that branch office. So you need to make payment in that particular currencies. You need to make payment in that particular country's currency. So for that purpose, you also require foreign currency. You also require foreign exchange. So that is our sixth point, payment of income. I've taken simple example of rent for payment of income. Four types of income there are. I said rent, wages or salary, interest or profit. Whatever the income is, if you are paying in some other country, you require foreign exchange for that. And last point is speculative trading. What is speculative trading? To buy something at a lower price and to sell that particular thing at a higher price is known as speculative. Speculative trading is done for the purpose of making profit, earning profits. Speculative trading is done for the purpose of making profits, earning profits. So it is allowed in international money market that you can buy foreign exchange at a lower price, and you can sell the foreign exchange at a higher price whenever you think the price is suitable for you. It is allowed in international money market. So this particular process is known as speculative trading, and you earn profit from this speculative trading. But for this purpose, you also require foreign exchange. You need to buy that foreign exchange. You need to have that foreign exchange. For example, you want to buy some dollars right now for the intention what? For the purpose of speculative trading. You are thinking that this is the right time, or this is the correct time that dollars can be bought. Dollars are available at a low price. You're thinking. So you buy those dollars and you sell those dollars at a higher price later on. Just like we do in gold, just like we do in shares, we can do that particular speculative trading in foreign currency also. So these are the points which we are considering for the demand of foreign exchange. So this was the topic for today. Next we will discuss in next class. Thank you.